Welcome to today's lesson. During the previous lesson, we talked about the basic concepts of music theory and introduction to basic terms and symbols in music. So today we are going to go in depth a little bit on some of the elements that we talked about yesterday.
Do to make you mine for life.
In our previous lesson, we mentioned the staff, which we said is a set of lines and spaces on which music is written on. So, just lines and spaces does not make any sense, right? It doesn't make any musical sense. So let's try and make sense of it. So we start by adding symbols to give it a little bit of meaning. The first thing we add to the staff is a clef, which we said is a musical symbol that helps us to know the range of music. If we plan to indicate music that is higher sounding or lower sounding, we will put an appropriate clef. Remember we said the most common clefs are the treble clef, also known as the G clef, and the bass clef, also known as the F clef. If the music will mostly be high sounding, we shall put the treble clef on the staff to make what we know as the treble staff. This is the treble staff. If the music is mostly towards the lower frequencies or sounds low, we use the bass clef and put it on the staff to form the bass staff. This is the bass staff. And if the music ranges from low to high, we use both clefs on their individual staves but joined together to make a grand staff. This is the grand staff. On the grand staff, the treble staff is usually on the top and the bass staff is usually on the bottom. This means that the music to be indicated on it will include both low and high sounds played together at times or at the same time separately, but by the same player within the same musical performance. We join the two staves together using a line or a brace to form the grand staff. The grand staff is mostly used for piano music. Now, we can start to add some more symbols for the staff to make more sense. To show the individual pitches, that is the highness or the lowness of a sound of music, we indicate music notes on the various lines and spaces of the staff. These lines and spaces represent certain pitch values. We use a music alphabet that runs from A to G to make this representation. Thus, the music alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you will never find a H or a Z or a K in music, unless it means something completely different. The most important pitch value is the middle C, which is located at the middle of the two staves on the grand staff. The middle C divides the higher sounds on the treble and the lower sounds on the bass staff. This is the position of the middle C on the grand staff. From the position of the middle C, one is able to identify the position of the other notes ascending towards the treble staff and from the middle C descending towards the bass staff, as it takes the form of a sequence. Each space and line is included, even the spaces above and below the middle C, which represent D and B respectively. Meaning, on the treble staff, D will sound higher than C, E will sound higher than D, F will sound higher than E, and so on and so on. And on the bass staff, C descends to B and to A and to G to F and so on and so on. If you are using the treble staff, this is the position of middle C. If you're using the bass staff, this is the position of middle C. The specific pitches are aligned to the individual pitches of piano keys or piano notes, like this. Staff notation then becomes easier for singers when the letter pitch names are assigned a singable value, where we introduce solfas. Solfa notation is also a type of music notation that makes singing musical notes even easier. It is the equivalent of pitch names on the staff, but with a singable value aligned to the piano sounds that we had talked about previously. These solfas are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Using the staff then, C becomes do, D becomes re, E becomes mi, F becomes fa, and so on and so on. For easy remembrance, it can be represented as a ladder to show movement from a lower pitch to a high pitch. To better understand this concept, you can try singing the solfas both in ascending and descending order. Sing with me. Because we are using middle C as our do, the solfas will sound like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is while ascending or going up, and while descending will sound like this. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Today, we have been able to make the 5 lines and spaces into a musical representation by adding clefs and musical notes that represent pitches and tried to relate them with a basic singing activity. In our next lesson, we shall continue understanding the musical elements of melody and rhythm by adding note durations to the staff. Remember to subscribe to this channel and follow us on our social media platforms, both in Facebook and Instagram. Also, don't forget to share with your friends. Stay safe and thank you for tuning in.